Alright, so welcome everyone to this very important lesson. In the previous lesson, we saw the important scripts and MEL expressions to control the rate of emission of the secondary particles, which we called as the second underscore ash, which were created with the help of the per point emission from the ash underscore gold particles based upon the value of the velocity. Alright. The only issue is that the emission is completely fine, but we need to put an end to the emission to stop the emission from a particular time. Only then it would be a successful script. So here in this lesson, we're going to create another script. We're going to add some few more codes from few more MEL expressions to control and to put a stop on the rate of emission of the secondary particles. Okay. And the simple story is that we're gonna kill the ash underscore gold particle systems. All right, the second underscore ash will remain there inside our scene. Their lifetime will going to be live forever. So for the ash underscore gold, I'm gonna change quickly the lifespan mode from live forever to the lifespan pp only, and we're gonna create an expression which will going to control the lifespan pp. All right. So as of now, let me just gonna open the attribute editor for the particles. For this, we need to create another per particle attribute, and I would like to name this as a die point. Okay, and the die point will have the attribute type per particles. Obviously, add an initial state attribute and should be have the data type called the float. Click OK. So we have something called the die point. Okay. Now let us say ash underscore goal shape dot die point should equal to -1. Since we have to create a story, we have to create an expression, so this is basically the initial setup. Okay, we are assuming that the die point has a value of -1 in the first frame. It is, very frankly, this is just to make you explain in a very better way, because I'm going to use the mode numeric, and for that I need some info to explain to you, because this value has been created at the very first frame, so it would be easier for me for the demonstration purpose. But it also do have a lot of impact. So we're going to click the edit, and then we're going to go to the runtime before dynamics. Over here, I would like to add some few more changes inside the scripts. So let us say we don't need this, at least for now, and I'm gonna introduce another if inside the if statement. Let us say if the ash underscore goal shape dot die point is equals to not equal, we are actually comparing the value, let's say is equivalent to -1. From here we're gonna have another story, and that is the ash underscore goal shape dot die point should equal to the current time value, whatsoever be the value of the time at the frame when the particle has crossed the velocity 1. This is very, very important. Don't misunderstand the concept that it is going to pick the value from the very starting of the frame, otherwise you'll be in a doubtful mode. Okay, and now another case is that this is the first case. The second case is else if, and this is very, very important, time minus ash underscore goal shape dot die point if it is greater than 1.5. We're going to change this value later on from 1.5 to maybe 3 to 2.5, depending upon our own artistic decision. Okay, then we'll have to say ash underscore goal shape dot lifespan pp must be equivalent to -1, which indicates that if the statement is true, then on the spot this ash underscore goal particle will going to get die out. -1 here signifies the death of the particles. All right, and after that I'm gonna close and hope so I'm gonna get that orange bar. Oh, perfect, absolutely nice. So I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna copy the script and I'm gonna open the notepad for you, and this is the clear version of the script. Let me just gonna increase the font. Okay, so as you can see that now, let's just throw some minute or two to understand the weightage and the concept of the script. Okay, first of all, what exactly is allowing the script to get started is this. The case is that if the speed is greater than 1, from that point of view the particles will going to get emit. Alright, this case has been started because we are evaluating per frame, so obviously the per frame calculation has to take place. Now the second condition is that if the die point value is equivalent to 1, which we have already provided in the creation mode in the very first frame. Okay, this phase is clear. Now we are here. After getting clear to this one, obviously it will gonna assign the value of the die point to the current time. What do you mean by current time? The current time, this time will be the time when the value has crossed the velocity of 1. Let's say at frame number 36. So at 36, 30 will going to be the frame and 1 will going to represent 30 frame. Here we are calculating 30 FPS. So 1 second would be equivalent to 30 frames and 30 frames would equal to 1. So at that time, if the situation is 36 or 40 frame, let's say the current time would be 1.25 or maybe 1.3, 1.2, whatsoever it is. Alright, then followed by this, the time, which is the current time. If the current time is getting subtracted to this time, which may be 1.6 to 1.4, and this sum is greater than 1.5, then obviously the particle will going to get die out. So this is our story, and let me just gonna play the timeline for you, and now you're gonna get to see that this is perfectly working fine. So as soon as we're gonna cross the 35 to 40th frame, you're going to see that no doubt the emission of the particle will going to take place, but there will be a situation when the particles will getting themselves stopped and they're not going to emit anymore. I'm going to put some escape and going to see over here. So here you can see that now the particles are no more red particles, you can see, and these bigger chunks are traveling freely. Okay, there isn't any more particles, so it means that the script is taking place wonderfully. Secondly, what you can do is that Control A, you can go to the numeric mode, and instead of the speed, I'm gonna write to, let's say, die point. Alright, so you can see over here that there isn't any die point on these bigger pieces of the chunks. And if you're going to play the timeline, you should notice that the die point will also going to get die if I play the timeline for a longer basis. Yes, you can see that as soon as the value is getting increased, the particles are getting die off. So the script is working perfectly. Alright, now the next thing that comes is how do we going to control the behavior of these particles, because at this point of time we are just covering only the technical section of our course. Now we need to add some more artistic flavor to control the behavior of the secondary particles. Alright, of course we're going to add the instancer to them so that we're going to give some more better sense, a judgment to our aesthetic knowledge. And then secondly, we're going to add some few more fields to control the behavior of these secondary particles. Alright, so for now I'm saving the file and we're going to move to the next lesson to furthermore set this particle system.